That's right. You're jamming to DJ Boom on 104.7 FM, 100.7 FM. I got to send a shout out to MCIE. She's in the building down here. Right about now, we're going to go to the jam lines and see who's out there jamming with us. Caller, are you out there? Hello?
Yes, greetings.
Greetings, 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 greetings. I am so glad that we are honored to have you on the phone with us this afternoon. How is everything?
Yes, everything is good. We're giving thanks.
All right, cool. Let everybody know your name, exactly who we have the honor and the pleasure of interviewing today.
This is Janine, all the way from Jamaica.
Good Lord, Janine. Hey. Let me ask you, okay, I have a couple of questions that some of the listeners have emailed that they wanted to get me to ask you, as well as some of my own, if that's no problem.
All right.
One question I have, exactly when did you start as far as recording music?
I started recording music maybe in 2010 was my first release.
2010 was your first release?
Mm-hmm.
And ever since then, you have been blazing the charts non-stop. I can't believe it. I mean, I'm going to be honest, the first time I heard Avocado, it was me and my wife, and we was chilling in the living room, and I heard the song Avocado. I said, this is a song, my wife, she's an empress. So I'm going to say, all right, baby, listen to this song right here. Tell me if you love it. And she said, yeah. And then now, within about 3 days, she must have gotten every one of your songs. And you just became her favorite. For real. And that's just the vibes that you give, the energy that you give when you come around. It's just really magnificent. I gotta say thank you for actually being out there and putting the music and doing what you're doing, because you could have been a bank teller or a clerk somewhere. I'm glad you in music.
Yes, true. I was in corporate Jamaica for a few years before I moved over.
Okay.
So, for sure.
All right, exactly how did you get into music and singing?
Well, I was always singing ever since I was young. Singing and writing, those were two of my, most dominant hobbies. And then I went through university, and that's when I started to really listen to roots and culture. My initial exposure was to like gospel music, classical music, choir music, because as a pastor daughter, so I didn't go to the dance hall, didn't know a lot of the current reggae music. But when I got older, in the digital age, I was able to mass consume a lot of the cultural music of old, and it really made an impact on me. It gave me a place where I could put my poetry and feel comfortable expressing. So I definitely had to start to share it, and as I shared it, the response was such that I had to keep doing it.
Wow.
And as I didn't want to do corporate Jamaica, so I knew that eventually I'd have to move out of that world, and music the doors just kept opening. So it's more of a pull factor.
Yes. Let me ask a question now. Also too, I've been watching the video for Avocado, and I see a lot of your videos. And there are a lot of lovely women on the videos that you've been putting out there. Are those women actually part of the band, or they, do they play instruments, or
they're my sisters, they're my friends, they're a part of the community here.
Gotcha.
Some of them are artisans themselves, chefs, professional women who are just brilliant, and these are the kind of women we associate with here in Jamaica. So I wanted to highlight some of the sisters that I have great respect for. And so I told them to come in the video, and they, obliged and came and were a part of it.
Awesome. I say that because I noticed that because I have daughters, and and I love for them to see women out there, showing strength and unity. Because in these days, there's a lot of division amongst every different type of people out there. And to see that, I mean, the way the vibes that you bring is just totally different than anything that I'm seeing out there now. At what point did you realize and say, whoa, this is really taking off?
I don't even think I'm there yet. It's still, for me, maybe because I'm not really out there so much, like in the streets or listening to the radio very much. So I don't really know the impact as much. I think it really hits me when I go to Europe, especially because there are thousands of people singing the words to my song. So like the first time I went to Europe, that was very overwhelming to be on stage and, everybody singing the music. And it happened to me again when I came to the US. Like I came to the US and I think, boy, they really love avocado over there. Because when I performed in Brooklyn, like I didn't even have to sing. Like the daughter them up at the front just have sing out the words. So you see me? It's good to know the ones are connecting with it. And that is really what makes me feel good. More than it being celebrated as whatever hit song is just to see how the people receive it. That's what makes me feel like, yeah, I'm doing good work.
All right. Now, so okay. I noticed you said you do poetry as well, right?
Yes, I.
Okay. So actually, then you are the one who's actually writing your songs, or most of them, I would
Yeah,
say.
man, I write everything. I write for myself and for others.
Okay.
That is really my first love. That's where I started. Before I was even writing songs, I was writing poetry.
So you are the right one. I got to direct this question to. What was the basis behind the song Avocado? I know it's an international success, but what made you, I mean, out of all the fruits, out of all of the things in the world, because avocado is one of my best things anyway, what was the inspiration behind that?
Oh my gosh, there were so many inspirations behind that. But the primary inspiration for that song was the fruits. Like I wrote that at my breakfast table. I was sitting down and it was the first avocado for the season. And it was a big, thick, I mean, in Jamaica we have some massive avocados. Not like the little dark, small horse ones we have over there. Like
Yeah.
big avocado. One slice of avocado was like, and it was on the plate and you eat it and you bite into it and it's just the right consistency of moisture and dryness, and it was just inspiring. And when the food's sweet and you sit down and you just start bounce at the table, and that is what sparked the initial vibe for avocado.
Wow.
And it was at the time when I was writing my first album, so I was, interacting a lot with like the likes of Rory Stone Love, who is a dancehall man, and he helped to introduce me to a lot of that part of the culture that I was not exposed to. So, it's just kind of poking fun at the whole 80s era where they used to sing about Coca-Cola bottle shape and all of these things that I was never going to have because I'm a mother girl. So I said, all right, let me just write a song. I'll put in all of the things that will make the man them understand how it feels,
Exactly.
When they put in things like size 14 and 7 foot of muscle and all of them things there. So it was supposed to be playful. It wasn't even supposed to be an album song. It was just one of them playful songs there that I was writing to entertain myself.
Wow. And what would be some of your influences in music, like some of the people that you listen to when you're not listening to yourself?
I listen to a lot of music. I can tell you what I'm listening to right now. I listen to a lot of Tracy Chapman. Like throughout my intelligent life, Tracy Chapman has been a staple. Women of jazz like the Ella Fitzgerald and the Nina Simone, Dinah Washington, Sarah Vaughan. A lot of the roots music. I listened to a lot of Sizzla when I was, going to university and later on in high school. And so I listened to a lot of culture music. Burning Spear, Winston McAnuff, a wide cross section, and I really appreciate classical music as well. So like instrumental dub and classical instrumental, I like instrumentals. I like movie music. I like big thematic music,
So that's not and actually the artist that you're mentioning, I can actually see some of the influences through your music as you mentioned that. Because
Yes,
your music is really a soulful kind of, groove. It's like you just want to rock to it. It's a nice vibes. I could feel that.
Good. Yes, I.
Now let's
That
get a
is the
little bit.
intention.
Let me get a little bit about your history growing up. Because I know you've spent time in Trelawney and other places. Let us get let the listeners know a little bit about your background.
Well, that is my background. I grew up in Trelawney. My father was the pastor at the Baptist Church. And so I was pastor's daughter and I grew up in Falmouth, Trelawney, which is a very traditional kind of community. Very traditional values. Children respected their elders. Everybody knew everybody. Everybody knew me because I was the pastor's daughter. So all eyes are on me. So I had to behave myself. Came to Kingston. Very, very different from the traditional environment that I grew up in. So there was a lot to learn, and it was a little bit of culture shock for me, which made me become, more introverted. And then that was when I was in primary school. And then I left primary school and went to an all girls high school, which was another interesting experience for me, you know, because when we came to town, my father worked at Calabar High School, which is an all boys school. So I was a little girl and I lived beside this school that had like 1,300 boys. And I was so comfortable among the boys because I'm a little girl and, you know, the chaplain's daughter. So I was used to seeing so many boys. But then I went to the all-girls school and it was just different. And that just pushed me a little further into myself too, because it was a little hard relating to, you know, the city girls and a different set of values. And everybody was, you know, doing their own thing, but I was trying to find my own place as well. So I really started to pour myself into my choir practice, and it was all about the choir, writing, and all of the extracurricular activities, just always finding things to do. Leave there, so go to high school, go to university. At the University of the West Indies now, that was some of the major turning points. I was always reading about Africa and so on, but it's really university I go and learn about Rastafari, you know, through the experience of serious, brilliant Rastafari ones that were on the campus, learning about, you know, the real livity, how to live with the earth, how to eat, to live, how to, you know, how to really deal with the herbs properly as a medicine, how to build a steam chalice so that they can get the medicine out of the herb the right way. All of these things were a part of my university education, you know.
So,
then
your experiences, your life experiences, is something that can be felt through your music. That would be safe to say.
Definitely. It's not necessarily the traditional way that, you know, a Jamaican girl would grow up, but my music reflects that. I was always very much living in my head, and my music is very introspective. It's a lot of it is, you know, inner thoughts and my experiences with my own perspectives and how my perspectives have shaped the world that I live in and how the world has shaped my perspectives. It's really a personal journey, you know. Social commentary, because standing on the outside as a dark-skinned girl in a post-colonial kind of environment, whole heap of things come with that as well. You know, you grow up and your father instilled whole heap of confidence and love in you. You grow up in a loving family. That makes you a part of a minority as well in this society, unfortunately, because you grow up and you're almost ashamed to talk about your father because he actually is a decent person. Enough people around you don't even have father, you know, or them. So it's just one of them things. Just life just teach a whole heap, you know. Life just teach a whole heap, and writing was always how I expressed that, and music was an opportunity to share that with people.
I understand now. So it would be safe to say that your music is continually evolving and growing.
Yes, I. Just as I am.
Now, as far as places that you've been, I know you've been to Europe. What are some of the countries in Europe you've been?
Wow. France,
That many already?
Germany, Switzerland. Enough of them. Wooly.
Wow.
I've been to Austria, to Slovakia, Slovenia.
Pretty much all over.
Quite a bit.
It might be good to say, okay, which countries you have not been then, if that weird it.
I haven't been to Greece. I know. I don't recall that. But I've been through quite a bit of Europe. It's always very interesting, you know, traveling Europe and so on, but my heart is always on the continent. So Europe, America, all of it is just a way to get home. It's just a way to reach to Africa in a way that is sustainable, you know? So if you ask me about Africa, then I can tell you where I've been and where I want to go and how I plan to travel there, and, you know? Exactly. That is really where the interest lies.
Now, let me ask you a question. Now, how often have you been to Africa?
I have been to Africa twice so far. Once to South Africa and most recently to Kenya. To Kenya.
Now, being to Africa and Europe, a lot of the artists out there, you know, they'll go out to different places and carry different. But what is the feeling that you get when the energy that you feel when actually you see people singing your songs that don't even speak the language that we talk?
There is nothing to describe that. It is just extremely humbling. It is really, really humbling, you know, and it makes you feel like, boy, you know, you have a serious responsibility to make your words count. Because if people are going to go as far as to translate your music into other languages and and force themselves to learn it and learn English by listening to your music and connecting with it, then you really have a serious responsibility to let those words count, you know. So it's really that kind of vibration reach through I when I see them think they're manifest.
All right, cool. Hold on 1 second. I have a song here called Humble that I'm going
Yes.
to run right now, and let the listeners hear this song right here, and then I'll come back with you in a few minutes. So if you mind holding just one moment.
Yes, I.
All right, now before I run that track here, Sister, what is the influence or the feel behind this song so that the listeners can actually appreciate the true talent
Well,
and energy?
just like we're talking about, boy, DJ Boom is just life. It's just life, and the more that you learn and you think, yes, you know this now, and you realize, boy, it's not really so it go. It's just like man split the atom after man thought the atom was the smallest thing, and at first we thought the earth was flat, and now we learn, and as you grow and you're in church and you learn, and this is the Bible story, and it's all you know, and then you learn more and you learn where these stories come from, and then you realize, boy, you really don't know anything, and you learn about the things that man can learn to manipulate the world with, and you realize, wow, all of these things, them get them from Africa. Why aren't they teaching us about Africa? This is just one of them things that where you realize, yeah, man, the journey is not about knowing everything. It's really about finding peace, and tuning in.
Exactly.
So that is why this song was, so important for me to put out as the first track for the new album.
All right, so I'm going to run this track right here. It's called Humble Me by Janine.
Yes, sir.
Humble me more and more. The heights just a grow and the bliss just a show. And humble me more and more. The more that I learn, show the little that I know, and it humble me more and more. The truth set me free and encourages me as it humble me more and more. Humble me more and more. There is so much to fear, they say. So many unknowns. There are those who would scorch the face of the earth in a selfish game of thrones. Some have learnt of the mysteries and are forcing the world to comply. But give thanks, the source of the sacred is encoded in I and I. When I tune into the frequency, none of the stains of adversity distract from the real I know. Of the power I'm connected to. Yes, it just a humble me more and more. The heights just a grow and the bliss just a show. And a humble me more and more. The more that I learn through the little that I know, and it humble me more and more. The truth set me free and encourages me as it humble me more and more. Humble me more and more. Of adversity distract from the real I know. Of the power I'm connected to. Yes, it just a humble me more and more. The heights just a grow and the bliss just a show. And a humble me more and more. The more that I learn, show the little that I know, and it humble me more and more. The truth set me free and encourages me as it humble me more. Humble me more and more. I used to be so sure of things, and life began to change. The world becomes a smaller place, an overcrowded stage. Ambition is the overkill, but I am not its slave. So I take away to take a breath and fit how I behave as I let go of the expectations. I start to feel everything go dark. A newfound sense find its activation, blazing wildfire from my heart. One mind me more and more. The heights just a grow and the bliss just a show and a humble me more and more. The more that I learn through the little that I know, and it humble me more and more. The truth set me free and encourages me as it humble me more and more. Humble me more and more.
That's right. That track right there is called Humble Me. Good Lord, what a sweet song right there. We're going to go back to the jam line with the one and only Janine. Janine,
Yes,
are you still there? Blessed, blessed.
I am.
Oh,
Yes,
gosh. So, okay, what projects are you currently working on right now? We know that we got some music out, but I know, the energy that's in you. I know we got to expect something really special for the summertime.
Well, we have the album that we're dropping on the 9th of September. The album entitled 9 is my sophomore project, and this is produced by myself in collaboration with a few of my favorite producers, but most of the tracks I produce myself, and I am executive producing this album. It's going to be released on the VP label. So that's the major project right now. But before that drops, we're going to do a special little, not really a mixtape, but like a grounding. We have some word sound and some music, unreleased music that we're just going to be giving away for free just to get people in the vibe for the album that's coming in September. And that will be dropping on His Majesty's Earthstrong, July the 23rd. So that's stuff to look out to. Other than that is, it's just road and sharing the message on the road and meeting with the communities when we go on the road as well. Meeting with the sisters, doing some reasoning, doing some yoga, doing some groundings, and sharing the vibes and the culture.
Oh, so you're into yoga?
Yes, I teach yoga.
What? That's good.
Yes,
That is good. So okay, because I say that because I put it like this: a lot of people that we see of color do not really believe in the benefits of yoga. And me now, as a man, supposed to be a big tough man like me. I always look at yoga and say, foolishness that. But my wife got me into the yoga thing, and I mean, it really works. That and meditation.
Yes,
I try meditate daily now as much as I can.
Which is good, which is right.
So
because that is really the key, That is really the key. What is yoga? Yoga is just enriching your body with breath. It is breathing deeply and letting the movement sync with the breath and using that to help you to find meditation. Stilling down the body, stilling the mind, and really tuning into to the universe in a different way. Tuning out the cell phone frequencies and the TV and all of that and just going inside. And that is an African thing, So black people need to not look at it as a foreign thing and understand that this is how our ancestors were able to reach the celestial heights, through meditation and yoga.
Exactly, all the chakras, and it's a whole, it's a good life when you can look at things in a different perspective than what we are told or led to believe how we are to look and judge things. And since
we're supposed to know that, man. As black people, we know that so much has been perpetrated against us to stop us from knowing ourselves and to have the real knowledge. So many things to distract us. Not least of all, the fact that we were ripped away from the continent. But all of this knowledge, if you look at the ancient pyramids and see the symbols that are carved on the walls, it's people in yogic positions, man, bend down on them knee and turn with them body to the side. All of them things is ours, but we are so disconnected from it. So it's some of them conversations we want to have when we're up on the road, DJ Boom. We want to make sure say we're talking to our people, because it's not say them ignorant, or say them unwilling to learn, It's just say them don't have access to certain knowledge. And knowledge is a powerful thing, because when you give the right people the right knowledge, you unlock and liberate them in some serious way. So that is the mission.
True. And also, while we have you here, I interviewed Luciano some time back, and there were some current events that he took personal to heart, and he really expressed himself, and I believe that it was a message that was well needed for the people them out there. Right now, I don't know how current you are with the happenings here in the U.S., but there's been a lot of killings with the police out there, and the black youth out there, and a lot of people right now are looking, they're stressed out. They don't know, what direction to take. And being as someone who is positive as you and grounded, I would ask if maybe what would be your intake on that, as something you could probably leave with their listeners out there. To give them faith and hope, not to give up.
And you see, is a tremendous thing, because when you look at the history of America, it's only because people never have cell phone and everything, but we can't really say that things are getting worse, All we can really say is that, boy, things can't hide no more.
Yeah.
And so the same way we have tried to live our life, we have to just continue to try to live our life. And that is why peace and stillness and meditation becomes so important, because it is so easy to get caught up in the things happening outside of you, and create a sense of tension and fear inside of you. And all of these things, we have to remember the law of attraction pulls onto us that which we fear the most. So we have to try and maintain that peace and that stillness, so that whatever situation we are in, we can operate at a place of calm. And then again, I will tell my black brothers and sisters, in particular in the States, Africa awaits its creators. Long time you have been ripped away from the continent, and the continent has been demonized, but it is one of the largest land masses, and it is one of the fastest growing economies. Those countries over there, and it is waiting on people to go and find them place over there. I know people who have left the United States, pack up them family and everything, and go over to Africa and live in better lives than they had ever lived over there. But people are afraid. People need to reconnect with Africa and liberate themselves from America in their minds first. America is not your friend, no matter how long you live over there. If you ask me about America, you're going to hear some things that are going to probably disturb you. But I don't come from there. I don't come from a place where I am a minority. I don't have a minority victim mindset. I have a mindset that I am a creator. And if I know that my brothers and sisters over there are creators as well, and if you find that there are things being perpetrated against you, you have the power to change your whole life. Are you going to let your children be brought up this way? What can you do? I cannot tell you what to do about the situation with police. It has not been really getting any better. If you look at it, remember, say it's whole heap of years of slavery, and after that it's whole heap of years of segregation, and it's just this little bit of freedom we have so far. Just this little bit of time that we don't get for free and walk up and down as black people on the street. So it's like you can't now pretend like this is something new. You have to know where you're going to understand. All right, how do I want to live? The world is a big place, and all of it is open to I and I. So some serious decisions, the ones that we have to make. America has become more and more dangerous, And right now with the politics and the election and everything that is coming up, and judgment. You know what I mean? So I send enough love to my brothers and sisters, and I say just keep breathing deeply, just keep calming yourselves, and know that violence begets violence, no matter where or whom it is coming from. So what are you seeking? What are you attracting? Are you attracting abundance and peace and wealth, or are you attracting fear and violence? We have to think about these things. The answers are within us. Don't be afraid.
That's true. You have a lot of positive energy, and that's why I had to ask that question, because somebody is outside the country looking in would have a different perspective than the item we're here in the country right now going and dealing with the situations at hand. I know that you have a lot of information. Is there a website or Facebook or some kind of social media or something where the fans can actually
Yes,
follow you
I.
and
The
keep
one
up?
can follow me on Instagram, Janine Online. That's JAH, the number 9 online. On Instagram and on Facebook, I'm Janine Online. On Twitter, it's just Janine. I put a lot of information on Twitter as well. Information about like using herb to cure cancer rather than using chemotherapy. Our brothers and sisters are taking these poisonous radioactive things into their body and believing that it will cure them. And this is a wicked, wicked lie that is perpetrated by Big Pharma. We have to understand, say these drugs are not our friend. These holy psychoactive drugs that they're giving you for personality problems and all of these are not good for you. Watch how you eat. It's through your food that is supposed to be a medicine. The herbs that you're using, the tea that you're drinking, the bush that you have burning in your house, and them things they have to use and cleanse yourself. We have to get back to the old ways. And if we shun and look down upon our ancient indigenous ways, we will perish with this world. So yeah, it's some serious talk. That's the kind of person I am, you know. And that is why a song like Humble Me is perfect for the American, especially the American black man and woman, to understand that don't be afraid of their system. If you want to be in control and take power for yourself, move out of the places where there is too much fear. It's material things that keep people in America, you know. I say this because I live in a country where people run go foreign all the time. And them love Jamaica and everything them work for them care back on Jamaica for build them big house because it's material things that drive us. And some material things will be our downfall. When we start to practice non-attachment and really find the value in loving our one another and building our communities and strengthening our sisters and strengthening our youth, then we will learn what is really real in life. Until then, we're going to suffer and perish. And that is the truth.
For real, Jano. Jano, Janai. Hey, I gotta really thank you for taking the time out to talk to us today on the radio. And
It is my pleasure.
I really admire your career. I admire your integrity. And I really would like for a lot of the young black women, it doesn't matter whether you're from Jamaica, Trinidad, Guyana, US, admire because there's a lot of role models that we are taking up that are the wrong role models. But there's people within us that, you know, that are positive and have the light and the energy. And I would like to say that you are definitely one of them. And I really admire the work that you're doing.
Give thanks. Give thanks.
You know, so we look forward to that. And I also look forward to have another opportunity to bring you back on the radio as well. And
yes, sir.
We can go into more detail about the situations later on and keep up with what you're doing. I gotta send a shout out to Dub Village. I gotta send out to Sandy down there, Dub Village. Oh my gosh, she's the one who was working with us and made this interview possible. She's a very lovely woman and I really rate the Empress there too. All the same.
So bless up Sandy. Yes, sir.
Let me ask you a question now. What the band? What is the name of the band that you work with?
The band is called the Dub Treatment.
The Dub Treatment.
It is a set of ones that I pull together, and it's musicians that rotate, you know. But the sound is what I am preserving, that dub element, that which inspired me originally to do my music in this way, you know. So there's a Naya Bingi vibration to it, but there's a lot of deep dub influences that are, you know, heavy drum and bass, as well as that post-production guitar mixing. So it's a real special sound, you know, very uniquely Jamaican.
All right. So, hey, right before we go, is there anything you'd like to say to the fans and the listeners out there?
Yeah, man, just keep loving yourself and loving each other. Just love is the only thing that is real right now. Everything else will pass away, and His love will be left, and that is the real power. Yes, that is what takes real strength, to love and to forgive. And these are our tests that we are coming up onto now and all that is happening in the world. So make sure you're passing your tests and you're standing up with courage and integrity. Protect your children, raise them well, feed them well, teach them good values. Yes, I.
Yes, I. Okay, so hold on a moment. I'm going to talk to you off the air for a couple of seconds. I have another song that I'm going to rinse right now called Steamers A Bubble. And is
Yes,
there anything
I.
you'd like to say about this song here?
Yeah, man, that song speaks for itself, you know. The song is a tribute to my roots as a Jamaican reggae Rastafari musician, and it is a tribute to the holy sacred sacrament that is marijuana and all its healing power and all its uniting power, you know, and it's burning the institutions that you know that have held our people down and that have misrepresented what it is to be black people in this time. So whole heap of powerful subliminal messages in other song letters. So just soak it up, take it in.
All right, cool. Listen, and like I said, this is Janai and I just jamming with DJ Boom on Hot 94.7 FM. It's all about the Caribbean Explosion Show. We'll be back next week at 4 p.m. So make sure you tune in. And remember, like I said, we'll be at Milliken's Reef tomorrow evening, starting at 7, jamming for the best in reggae, rock music. So hey, if you want some rockers and some good vibes, come in, trust me. Also, do remember that we will be having a Richie Spice down here on the 20th of this month at Sports Page, so check it out. Some big things really going on, and I want to say thank you, Janine, for jamming with us. And hold on a moment, I'm addressing you on the radio, right?
Yes, I.
All right, bless.
From morning to dark, and the fire upon the forward just a blaze up. In the yard, St. Andrew Park, music a bubble, steamers a bubble, bun chalice a bubble. From morning to dark, and the fire upon the forward just a blaze up. One thing to overs about Jamaica, we are the confidence of the African continent in Rastafari. No influence is greater. The state of the nation is testament to why the people suffer from disease of the mind. Them have them enemy as them deity, so them worship the blind. But the real black Madonna is the rightful divine, and the king and queen crown same time. Balance in the yard, St. Andrew Park, music a bubble, steamers a bubble, bun chalice a bubble. From morning to dark, and the fire upon the forward just a blaze up. In the yard, St. Andrew Park, music a bubble, steamers a bubble, bun chalice a bubble. From morning to dark, and the fire upon the forward just a blaze up. The fire just a blaze up, burning out the evil, while the music free the people. Shake up when the consciousness wake up. In the yard, St. Andrew Park, music a bubble, steamers a bubble, bun chalice a bubble. From morning to dark, and the fire upon the forward just a blaze up. In the yard, St. Andrew Park, music a bubble, steamers a bubble, bun chalice a bubble. From morning to dark, and the fire upon the forward just a blaze up. From generation to generation, the tradition of righteousness is passed on. From the ancients, setting a precedence of excellence. Ritual devotion to the mastery of the instrument. Strings with percussion and vocal. Naya bingy vibration, one to order. The most high meditation with a high grade marijuana. In the yard, St. Andrew Park, music a bubble, steamers a bubble.
That right there is the voice of Janine. Remember, on here, Hot 94.7 FM, 100.7 FM. Gonna send a shout out to everybody in Brevard. Love ya. And beyond Orlando, you know it's all about the big show. Jumping off, like I said, Richie Spice. Wednesday show. Get their doors open at 6 p.m. It's all about Richie Spice and the Element Band. Blazing you in Satellite Beach. Check it out, for real. It's all over. Hit me up on Facebook. It's DJ Boom, world class. Check it out for more information. Trust me, you do not want to miss that show. Come on, man. Richie Spice? Oh, I missed that.
Inna the yard, St. Andrew Park, music a bubble, steamers a bubble, bun chalice a bubble from morning to dark, and the fire upon the forward just a blaze up. Inna the yard, St. Andrew Park, music a bubble, steamers a bubble, bun chalice a bubble from morning to dark, and the fire upon the forward just a blaze up.